Welcome! Welcome once more. I see you've been enjoying the tales as they go. Strange things. Strange, ancient devices of which I could barely even begin to explain. You always hear stories of them. Lost things from ancient, magical civilizations, hidden in places. Strange guns which shoot lightning and stuff. Still, as fanciful as it seems, some of this stuff is real. And our pirates, well, they came upon a man who could help them with some of that stuff. Strangely enough. But more questions have come about. Strange beast, far bigger than anything they've seen. Why is it near the shackles? And of course, there's still some questions of Yaalkol's grandparent. And maybe even Tritons. For they have not been really heard majorly in the shackles. But they exist there. Unlike the sea elves. So, our pirates are barking up interesting trees, to say the least. What will this mean? Well, if you wish to find out, sit down again. Get your drink ready. For this tale shall continue. Greetings and salutations to all of you, and welcome to the Buccaneers of the Shackled Sea. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Ready for adventure?
Ready, sir.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Yay.
Yeah.
I can hear you, so that's okay. I heard you. I tried to make a joke there, and it wasn't a great one, you know.
Yes, we...
I'm cringing.
yes, we are.
Into oblivion.
And beyond?
Yay!
So yes, if you
What's
missed
happening?
if you missed last week, there was this nice journey to Blood Cove and eventually to these islands, where they had nice boiling seas around them because of volcanic vents. And you got to a nice island where there was a big old frog hemoth, but it left when a thing showed up that was bigger and meaner looking than anything you've ever seen before. Truly a titanic creature beyond your wildest imaginations arrived. Which I think I can actually pop a picture of this. I have this in here and I could show the audience what this thing is too. So I'll show everybody again. We'll just go over here for a second. There it is. Doesn't that look nice? Just think of it as like, you know, 250, 300 feet tall. Yeah, that thing. It was there.
Yep.
Exploring the island, you effectively found what appears to be an ancient Aslanti base. That still has some of its lost technology functioning, which was a fascinating find. But not only that, you found the clockwork master attempting to mix his specialized skill of clockwork along with said technology and basically experimenting. And you made peaceful contact with him. One of you got a leg, and the ship gets some kind of, in quotations, upgrades, of which I haven't quite determined what they are, but they exist. And they're probably cool, and we'll figure it out later. It's like all of a sudden you're like, the ship will transform into something, or like, you know, something will activate, or it was there all along and you just didn't know about it. I don't know. Something like that. Activate random anime meme for your ship here. Something like that. Anyway. That's me having 2 weeks that were just insane, so I didn't really put any plans together for anything. So
That's fair, yeah.
You have insanity in your life? Nah.
Look, January has been a hell of a month. I'm hoping it's the worst month of the year already. You know, if I can say that, it'll be better off.
Fingers crossed for you.
Yeah, man.
Well, at least we're in February now.
It is
Hopefully
February
it'll
now.
get better.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe February will be a better month. We'll see.
At the very least, it's a shorter month.
It is a shorter month.
Alright.
It is, yeah.
So we left off at you were arranging for some various upgrades and having a kindly old man kept alive by hooking himself into like basically a magical computer system.
Yeah, you know, praise the Omnissiah and all that.
Exactly. Talk to this nice younger lady. Honestly, they would probably have a private discussion. So, you know,
yeah.
That will happen. Is there anything else you want to do while you're here? I can tell you the results of that after you figure out what else you're doing. 'Cause I have an idea.
I don't have anything I'm doing here.
No, I don't think. I think we just gotta get the girl here.
Mm-hmm.
Spend some time, then we can leave.
He's saying that we already brought the girl.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're just good to go.
We're good to go. I assume we're taking her with us?
The leg yet at this point?
It'll take probably a few
like
days.
That has to be
for
potentially attached.
Can someone pick
Yes.
where we are on the map? I'm struggling to find us.
We're
Off the map.
You
We're
are
off
off the
the
map.
We're off map.
All right,
now.
Blood
cool.
Cove
This
is
way.
on the map, but you are south of Blood
Yeah.
Cove.
I'll highlight it. We're here and we're south. Of
Okay, gotcha.
We're off the coast
Yeah.
of the Mwangi Expanse currently.
All right,
Yep.
cool.
We're like south.
You're technically outside of the shackles. Though there are plenty of islands and stuff, and as I said,
We're not pirates here, guys. We're just normal people.
I think you're technically pirates because there's pirates all over the place. It's just you're not. You're.
It's a joke.
We're
Yeah,
not
true.
wanted.
I guess I'm just
No, that's
like
not true. Probably.
not necessarily poking around, but looking at technology that's in front of me. Not
Honestly,
that I understand any of it.
like
I'm a dumbass, kind of.
it's the thing is a lot of the I'll put it as a term that like we as people rather than your characters will understand. A lot of the systems that were in place here are just a lot of the automated systems and stuff that are left over. Things like the magical / technological force field that basically keeps the lava at bay is functioning. The power system, which honestly it's geothermal. You know, that's why they still have a lot of energy. They use the very energy of the place they're in to power things like that. Effectively, probably the force field is being powered by the very lava it's holding back, kind of like a catch-22. The extreme heat and stuff allows it to do that.
Makes sense.
you
I
know.
mean, why not? Of course, you're going to use what's available.
Yes. Things like lights work. Probably like you could discover that they've got strange systems that seem to be like a cafeteria, like a food place that drop off weird cubes, which are apparently edible, and like they don't taste great, but they're filling.
I will feed one to Yaalkol.
Does he die?
It's fine.
It's not technically old. It produces them here.
What does it taste like?
Not much of
Probably
anything.
nothing.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Kind of tastes like
Can I?
if bread had less flavor.
I was going to say, it probably tastes
I don't
stale.
have prestidigitation. I don't have prestidigitation.
You ever
Come on, guys.
You ever accidentally eat like foam?
Well, like, do you mean like
Oh,
alcohol foam? Like, because
no,
No,
I think it's like
like-
styrofoam.
foam doesn't exist. There's no styrofoam.
Styrofoam's not. Styrofoam
Like
doesn't
tea
exist,
foam?
dude.
No, they're
Hasn't
like
been invented yet.
I don't even know how to describe
It's like
this.
foam of like foamy ocean water.
yes, like that's what I'm thinking of.
Froth?
Yeah,
You mean like
Yeah,
froth?
like a froth. That's the word I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Froth.
I got you.
Can't
Cool.
say I have
Except for it has no flavor to it.
Yeah, well, I'm about to say
Right.
frothy water, frothy ocean water is salty.
Captain, I would advise you to stop drinking the seawater.
Well, you know what happens sometimes while you're fighting underwater. okay?
I've seen him just take drinks of it before.
I kind of just think about water sometimes.
Okay,
I
when they
can
say
make,
hydrate, they don't mean just drink any water you find in the ground.
I can, if we're gonna stay here for a couple days, I can make us food that is bland, but probably like better texture-wise, at least, with mild flavor, aka create food and water.
All right.
So we can
have to
live.
stay here?
You don't want to enjoy nutrition cubes?
No, I feel like
yes.
those are
Nutrient taste, the way of the future.
Why are we staying here? Why aren't we...
Myste has to get a leg.
I have to get surgery.
That's right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Also, you're waiting for your thing to be made for the
We're just
ship.
gonna just shove the leg onto you and get going.
So this is
just, attach it to the bone.
It's actual cybernetics, to be fair.
they can range. You'll be arranged for your ship to dock at one of the other islands. There's a hidden port, basically, that was kind of in one of the cliff walls. That still mostly functions, but it can function as an area where they can install any said kind of things.
Cool.
Like that place, it looks as though there are no current ships in there. Honestly, this place was probably abandoned at some point in time.
Vacation Island.
So, the port itself, not a lot left in there at all. But it's a place where they can effectively install some things on your ship. The other facilities here, there's some places to sleep. The beds aren't great. This place obviously wasn't meant for, comfort. It was meant for people to scout out the enemies of the...
Post.
Yeah, it was an observation post. The medical facility is pretty decent, actually, though. The medical technology here is pretty good. It's just not in the best condition. It's enough that they can do things like install a leg for you safely.
I feel like this is entirely beyond any of our comprehension how this medical technology works.
Again, there's probably a core of you can understand there is some since it's magical technology based things. So there's it is using a level of healing magic and sensory magic, but it refines it with mechanical parts in ways that are definitely outside of your understanding. So yeah.
They're turning you into a golem.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't try to swim, you might rust.
I'm surrendering my flesh and becoming a tech priest, so I'll see you in the 40k campaign, guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dibs on being orcs.
I'll be one of those shamans, sort of like the void mancers that can travel the void.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna be a
this
zealot.
Probably I mean,
Just me and the boys, guys. I'll see you guys later.
You can be, you can work for Mr. Emperor Jimmy Space and be one of his space marines.
Jimmy's.
Yeah,
I want to be Jimmy Spaceman.
40k lore is weird, dude.
40k lore is mostly bad.
It is having attempted to dive into it at least once now.
Don't even attempt.
I just had someone explain the basics of the factions, and that was enough.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't want to hear more after that. It's just woo, 40k lore.
There's there's a lot of lore. Most of it satirical and bad.
I don't know anything. Ah.
It's for the best.
All you should know is that there's orcs, right? And whatever orcs imagine to be true, it happens.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is an accurate statement about orcs.
What if
Not
they
really,
imagine
but-
that orcs don't exist?
Well, then all the orcs are gone, buddy.
Yeah, as long as you're
They're
an
all
orc.
dead.
But they're like a warmongering race, so they'll imagine a lot of things, which is weird.
It's the power of belief.
Oh.
But anyway,
Anyways, back to this world, which is still weird, but not as weird.
We chill for a couple days, get the things attached, and then we leave, I think.
okay.
Is the daughter coming back with us, or is she sticking around?
She'll kind of go to you. She's like, I would like to stay around and learn more, but honestly, I worry that there wouldn't be a way to get off the island.
We can come back in like, I don't know, 6 months, maybe a year.
I mean, like, I assume
We're
you're
still
magically
alive.
inclined. You could message me and I can teleport you out as a favor. I guess.
I don't think she has that type of magic. I mean, she might learn it, I guess.
Here, I mean,
I
Misty just got a leg.
I do have like short-term messaging. I mean, like,
The sending spell's like level 4.
There is level 4, yes.
yes.
So I don't. Unless
It's
she
unlikely
becomes
that
level 7.
She's gonna cast it, yeah.
Yeah.
There may be devices here that can do it for
She's
you.
also
Yeah.
probably multi-class between adept and expert because yes, she was working in a shop that specialized in mostly jewelry work, but she took up the craft of clockwork / golem clockwork that, you know, her grandfather wasn't as good at.
Oh wait, we might actually have an item we can give her that she can contact.
That might be in the bag of holding.
Yeah, let me check. If not, you know, I can send you like a sending spell once, you know, maybe every 2 weeks. And then, you know, figure it out from there.
Like a messenger bird's a thing in this world. Can we like hire like a pigeon to go deliver a message or something?
The pigeon might
Pigeons
just
require-
melt from heat.
Well, pigeons also require a specific location to fly back. Pigeons, you can't just tell a pigeon to go somewhere. That's how pigeons work.
Oh, unless you're a druid.
It's typically.
Well, yeah, but that's different. That's like magic.
I saw
Talking about, like
Avatar, I
carrier
can-
pigeons work
Yeah.
by like they're very good at homing.
They
in
know,
at
yeah, they have to
spot.
know where where their homes are.
Yeah, magnets.
And this is far too far. Yeah, so you know we'll send sending spells every couple weeks.
Something would probably eat the pigeon on this island,
Or it melts.
like the
Melts
frog,
or eats. Yes.
It might just melt. Yeah.
Yeah, it
So-
bursts into flame.
and might get eaten and melted.
Yeah,
True.
the island, as I described it, you know, which you know Jacub would have missed, is incredibly hot all the time because the water is like boiling because of a lot of volcanic vents.
Oh, I hate this place.
So,
I don't want
so
to be
you're
here
saying
anymore.
we could air roast some squab.
Yeah.
It probably won't cook all the way through, but
No.
it certainly will die. And you know,
What if we put it in the boiling water that the ocean is?
Well, then you
Wait.
boiled it.
Are we inventing air fryers?
Yes.
If you put
Can
it
we
in a
air
bag,
fry
you can
some
eat it.
pigeon?
No.
I mean,
Okay.
you can boil it in the salty ocean and super infuse it with salt.
I mean,
Yeah,
the-
All the
Salt
parasites
baby.
are in the ocean.
certainly there are plenty of creatures that do live here and are fine with the heat. But like, yes, your average just like bird.
We needed a
would
spell
probably
to
not.
set foot here.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it you know evolved here to live in this climate, it's not going to survive long.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we'll just we'll be in touch through magic, and you'll just have to wait till the next time I send you want to leave, and then we'll figure it out.
If we're still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we die, you might be in trouble actually. So like, figure out a backup plan, I guess, over time.
Those are pretty cool.
I mean, she's a clockwork specialist, right? She can learn how to make a clockwork parrot.
Yeah, but
I
good
mean,
luck getting
you
a
had
ship to
a
come out.
We
And
have
clockwork
one.
silver parrot that was
Yeah.
originally sent by the person as like an SOS before he discovered this place.
Yeah.
You know,
Where'd that get him? It didn't really help him, did it?
it
No, he did.
ended up in a jungle somewhere. Yeah.
You just
So,
need
like-
she just needs to make like a dinghy and make some clockwork arms to row the dinghy for her.
The
Yeah.
boat would melt. Not melt, but you know what I mean. The wood would get oversaturated. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
we'd all
I,
get
I was making a joke though.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll be in contact. I guess I'll leave a note to like tell someone to come here in a year, even if we're dead. So if we die, at least someone will come, maybe.
Someone will come.
It's a
man.
risk. It's a risk, okay? Look, we can't promise anything. Listen, we're unlikely to all die.
I mean, I guess you can always just come back later. I don't know, and go home prepared, get supplies, and
Well-
not do things hastily.
You're saying we're unlikely to all die, but we are going up against.
Yeah,
Another
but one of
fleet.
us should live on average.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, do the math.
I mean,
Even
Yaalkol
there's-
won't last
there's
more than
5 of
10
us.
years.
Worry
like-
this
More of
poor-
us than there are of them.
Why are you worrying this poor woman with your troubles?
Well, hey, we should be honest, right?
I'm being truthful. That's all.
It was just your whole, like, the whole life story, dude.
No, we're not. I'm not giving
Bit
her a life
overwhelming.
story. Hey,
Not to mention to everyone that we're going to have a pirate war.
I never said that. I just said we might die.
Okay, you said
said-
pirate war. No one else said pirate war.
Why are you bringing it up?
You don't talk about the pirate wars.
I forgot I rolled breath weapon damage, and it was
you did roll this thing's breath weapon damage.
Yeah,
It was 140
determined
I
we would all die.
Didn't
Yeah.
didn't want to do that. I lean over to the woman and try to say comfortingly, "Don't worry. When you die, some creepy guy gives you a walk. Everything's kind of good after that." And then I lean back.
Well,
I think that only
You
works for
forget we
like,
brought you back to life.
I leave.
Anyway, good luck. Bye. There's, I guess, food over there.
Bye.
You
No, it's fine. It worked out. Hey, it worked.
Try not to be completely made of metal by the time we get back.
I don't know, it's pretty cool having metal parts.
Yeah, well, parts,
Fucking-
but like your whole body being metal is gonna be super inconvenient.
nah, I think it'd be
Well-
cool because eventually you won't have to eat. Like, think about it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but
We
you
can,
end up like this guy who's now part of the building.
I haven't.
Does I can offer this lady some a pair of war dogs to have as companions.
Wouldn't they just die and burned it?
In the facility, it's not as hot. You know,
Does she want a
has some
pair of
cl-
dogs to keep?
Sure.
You
Why do you
guys,
have war dogs?
you guys,
It's on the
have,
roll of useful
you
items.
guys
We're never
have-
gonna use them.
guys, you've traumatized this woman enough. Please,
So I give her 2 dogs so she has some pets.
you've given her responsibility now.
I've tried to,
Now
give,
she
I've
has
tried
to
to comfort
feed
her. Try to
That's the
comfort her
worst
this time,
gift
Steve.
you could give someone.
There's 2. I asked her, did she want them? If she says yes, I give them.
Actually,
never
yeah.
gonna
Where are they
I know
gonna
what
go to
happens
the
when you by
bathroom?
yourself.
Never ask if
Robots.
somebody wants your
Where
dog.
do you think she's going to the
There's
bathroom?
always an implication, because then they have to ask what are you going to do with them if I don't say yes.
There's probably a toilet that dumps things into the lava.
They're just gonna
and-
stay in the patch.
Oh yeah, the dog's gonna go on the toilet. Okay.
Okay.
train them.
All right. All right.
It's a nightmare.
You keep them on litter box.
Animals,
Okay?
all of you.
you litter box train the dogs.
All right.
They're
you know,
war dogs, and not litter box
But
trainers.
they have the riding dog stats, okay?
I steal the boat and I abandon these idiots here.
I
What
joined
do I
you.
do? I'm trying to make sense of this.
I joined you.
We can go have our own
I can give a
adventures.
mule instead, okay? Does she want a mule instead?
Stop
No,
giving
that's
people
even
animals.
worse.
for
They
God's
essentially
sake.
work. Yeah.
I feel like
Fine,
you're
she
trying
only
to,
get the fucking war dogs and we'll never use them.
are you trying
There
to
you go.
marry this woman's daughter?
Yeah, like, what are you? Gee,
No,
Revia,
it's just,
leave,
dude,
gee-
the dogs are permanently living
gee,
in not
Revia, leave some wives for the rest of us.
Not too bad. I gotta get all of them, okay? Playing Pokemon.
All right, bro. Okay.
No, I need
Okay,
this donkey.
I'm
If
trying to go.
if I'm ever gonna get married, I need this donkey and the 2 war dogs. That's my dowry.
Okay, fine. I can give them to you then.
Are these like actual living war dogs and no one's
Yes,
fed this whole
actual
time?
dogs that are magically
being
created
fed,
from a
they're
rope.
Not being cared for.
No, they're in the
no.
robes. They're not. They don't exist yet.
They're a
They're
patch
magic.
on
Okay.
a robe. And when you
Okay.
pair the
Okay.
patch
Oh,
on, they
that's
come alive.
right.
Yeah.
That's,
The robe of useful items that we got forever
Dude,
ago.
this
I
whole
still
time I
have
was just
them.
picturing
Alright.
like 2 random dogs in the ship going wild and
I
eating
don't know.
everybody.
I don't know why.
I have done lots of useful things with a robe of useful items.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got Yaalkol a ladder once to get up on a
Man.
ship.
Anyways,
Anyway, that was
Anyways, after
wonderful.
that,
Yes.
after that,
Uh,
wonderful mess.
There's 2
Um,
mules.
Man, it's like real weird being able to walk with 2 legs.
You know, I never really thought about it before.
I haven't had a right leg for 5 years, guys.
Yeah, it's probably gonna take you a
That's,
while to learn to walk again properly.
Be careful, don't like slip off the ship while getting used to it.
Well, see, we're gonna need to stop somewhere because I only ever have one boot because I can't wear.
Oh,
Yeah, you see the problem.
Oh well, I
what's
guess
your shoe size?
I don't give you a shoe size. It's probably how large is Revia?
Revia is 5'5", but she's a half elf, so she's probably got more slender feet than a human on average.
I mean,
It's our conversation.
I have a pair of extra boots from when I switched out to the boot of levitation.
Well, that's what I'm offering, okay? I have.
Yeah, but I'm a male, so they're gonna be a little bigger if like slender half elf feet don't work.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
You're a half elf.
I'm a male half elf.
Bro,
The little used 2 ladies, Serena and Regina, one of them's probably got an extra
yeah,
boot
I'm
you
just
could
gonna
use.
have to borrow someone's shoe for a little bit.
Yes.
I give you a pair of fancy.
I refuse your fancy boots.
But just-
but are they kinky boots?
No.
No, they're just. I have a pair of fancy clothes I bought forever ago.
Well, that's for a party, I think.
I mean, there's possibly 3 useful things that's on your robes. You
Let me
could
find
have-
out.
Are there
You
a
could
pair of
have a
boots on
pit,
those robes?
which is very useful, especially, hey, guess what this ship needs? A pit in the bottom of it.
Yeah, true.
No, there is no pit.
How
It
about a
does have
window?
a rowboat though. It's
Yeah,
Robot
robot's
is incredibly
useful.
useful.
What about a
yeah,
window?
I have 2 windows.
Put that on the bottom of someone's ship and break it.
True.
Okay, listen, that's a plan. Okay,
That's amazing. That's so
Actually
good.
true.
look, I can swim. I can
Just
swim. I have
install a
so
window on the
clever.
I have
bottom.
a dimension
So
door.
clever.
I can dimension door to the
But
bottom. of the
actually,
ship.
yeah, no, that is actually a thing you can do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
frustrating.
Clever.
That's a
so
war crime.
clever.
All
I
right,
love
so
it.
we're gonna sink a ship like that, right? That's
Oh yeah,
War
that's
crime.
happening. That's happening.
Yeah,
We have
yep.
2 of them. We
Look,
have
you
2
know,
windows.
that's 2 war crimes you can do. Count
Yeah,
them
that's 2 war crimes, dude.
Listen, all
Oh,
right.
no,
I don't
no,
see
war
no
crime,
Geneva
no, war
Convention written yet.
Yeah. Geneva never heard of her.
There's also a mirror. You know. There's
Yeah,
a
but
lot
now
of
when you
stuff.
need a mirror.
You ever heard of her?
There's an iron
so
door.
I think we go to that one place where there's a dragon, maybe.
Yeah, that's like over here, I think, somewhere.
Uh,
It's Tivo.
In Genzai.
You
Genzai.
can get it
right
Zebo over here.
Where we
Oh,
go?
Zebo. Zebo, that's right. It
Zebo.
was Zebo, I
Zebo
said.
again.
I think it was
No.
Zebo, I said, yes.
Yeah, it's
I
a
remember.
Zebo. It is
We
that.
go
Yeah,
up
Yeah,
there.
Gazebo. That's where we're going.
Hansis,
A
can you paint
gazebo.
it for me
Nice.
so I know where the hell we are?
Put that ship over
Ping.
there.
Ah,
Big map.
okay. I thought you were saying gazebo, and it's just Zebo.
It is just Zebo, yeah.
I think it might be pronounced Zibo, but I have no idea.
I believe
I wanna
the
fight the
pronunciation would be
gazebo.
Zibo.
But I want to
Because it'd be Genzai.
Genzai and yeah.
Zibo makes sense.
So, yeah, Genzai, Zebo, probably be more.
Robu.
Robo.
Genzaibo.
So,
We arrived
as you're traveling
island.
to Zebo, anybody want to make a local check to see what you know about it?
I can make a look.
Absolutely.
Because it
I
might
can
help to
make
have a
a-
little bit of information about this place.
Button. 27.
27
Hold on, I
is
gotta
good
actually
enough
get into my
to
sheet.
know some good.
33 is pretty good.
Yeah. It's not the largest.
29.
It's the city of Zebo is a pretty small city. It is probably around like 1,000 people population, so not a very big city. Nothing nearly to the size, like, you know, it's dwarfed in comparison to something like Port Peril. But the city itself, though, is of interesting design as it combines the traditional style of the I have to think of the culture, the Tian culture, and Elven culture, as the entire place is built by the elves and half-elves that live from the Tian culture. A lot of the wooded buildings are constructed around thick trees in a very organic fashion. And the most famous building there is actually one of the most famous places for bards in a lot of Shackles. The Petal Cemetery. Seminary. I said cemetery almost.
Yeah, that's for bards like to hang out.
It's a geisha school that combines aspects of Elven culture with Tianian culture. So it is one of the more famous places that bards go to throughout the Shackles, if you're talking about schools of learning and places that bards would go to learn at. So, I will tell you that, honestly, art might be a good place to start with, because a lot of dragons that do find themselves in disguised as humanoids and in human society usually enjoy culture. It is one of the main reasons that they tend to be in amongst humanoids, is to enjoy the finer things that humanoids developed culturally. Art, particularly music, expression, stuff like that. Not the only reason, but it is a big one for a lot of, especially good aligned dragons, I should say.
Yeah.
Could I try a knowledge nobility to know, if there's any famous artists?
Sure.
This dragon likes a couple of things.
You don't know a lot about them, but you know that, Nezumi, Nanbatwa is the, instructor, who is of both, Tianian and Mwangi descent.
You might want to start with him?
I think it's a her.
Yeah. Or her, sorry.
Nezumi sounds like a her, I'm going to tell
sorry.
you.
Nezumi is, I believe...
See them.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
We might want to start with them, yeah.
Alright, do we know where they are?
They're the most respected instructor at the Petal Seminary.
Yeah.
Oh, so we had to head to the seminary.
Yeah.
Well,
Should
then,
we bring
makes-
a bard with us to be like, hey, we have a bard here that can get us in, or they can
You do have a bard.
Do we need him to get in? Is the question?
Probably not, honestly.
I might want to go.
I mean, we can just be like,
hey, Congobar can go. He is his own free will. We're here.
I mean, we can be just like, hey, we're patrons of the arts. We wanted to see
If
we
you
could talk
offer,
to
he will come along. If you offered to him, he would not ask directly because he's just there along with the ship, and he does.
I mean, he can. When we're on land, anyone can go.
Yeah.
Like,
well, most people tend not to. They probably have business on the ship that they're taking care of. Depending on how long you stay, they might do some things on shore, as shore leave is kind of put out there when, time allots. With an undetermined amount of time, sort of like a port like this, probably not a lot of people going ashore unless there's business to actually do for the ship.
Yeah, unless we say, hey, everyone has 3 days off. Be back in 3 days.
You need to admit it. We're not the happiest ship because we don't do parties, and we don't really drag our people into very, very dangerous places.
That's fair. Everyone respects.
They're probably horrified to leave the ship.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we spend like a week here and let people have like a celebration.
Well, I don't know if we have that much time.
Okay, we can spend 2 days. Okay, people get 2 days of shore leave. There we go.
They can
You
get
don't know
one
how long
half
it's gonna take to
evening.
find the dragon or not, right? So,
Okay, we took him to a play like a couple months ago. It's fine.
We took them to a play to get us in to fight people.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
We used them.
They may or may not know that, but regardless, they got to enjoy the play.
They might have suspicions.
And they got a good meal out of it, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I realize
Alright, listen.
if we bring Concubard, we're literally the patrons of the art, which is Concubard, right?
I don't know. You want to bring Cool Bard, man?
We
Up
can
to
bring
you.
him.
He's
But I
a
don't know
cool
if he
dude.
wants to force to hang out with us. Kind of.
What else he got to do?
As I said, this place is, in fact, quite beautiful. In comparison to a lot of cities on the Shackles, which tend to be a lot more practical or simple architecture, certainly this place screams having, a designed architecture that makes it feel a lot older than probably the town is. As I said,
High cultured.
it does have a very high culture to the entire thing. it's obvious the elven techniques for architecture are used in every building. The fact that like many of the buildings, as I said, have trees that are seemingly like kind of built into or around them, kind of things like that. It's a lot of like wooden and finely crafted structures. And certainly a lot of the buildings have flair. Even some of the buildings that look like they'd be for, lesser reasons, like small shops, bars and stuff like that, all have an artistic flair that you can see some of in the Shackles, but certainly, like, unless you're in somewhere like Port Peril or another large city like that, like Quent, you don't get a lot of that, especially in a town this small. They don't... Quent or Port Peril, they're well developed. They have that chance for some architecture to come in there, A lot of small places, no. But this certainly does have a lot more. Even more than, like, you'd say, like, maybe not Quent. Quent has a very artistic side to it in comparison to Port Peril, but certainly a lot more artistic and well designed than Port Peril.
Oh. The man exploded.
They did.
Oh,
there you go.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Yeah, so
Imploded or exploded?
we're going for the arts place.
Finding the pedal seminary is not difficult. Honestly, just asking around for a few people, you'll be able to point it out. It's in the building itself is a facility built around and integrating into the center of it a massive cherry tree.
Pretty.
Probably one of the few that's been imported into this area from Tien. And it seems to have grown to fairly large size, perhaps through magical influence from the various bards and stuff that have it. Indirectly rather than directly. Or perhaps there is something more spiritual to the entire thing. There, of course, is like a simple set of walls that kind of surround the facility, as it's a number of smaller buildings, where you can, of course, there's music, dancing, the various arts that an actual traditional geisha would learn are being taught here in various forms, with separate buildings and rooms that are very open, showing it off. All of which have that's kind of like, again, the style is definitely Tien. It's not East meets West, it's Tien meets Elf, so it's like an interesting cultural mix.
We've got some Asian elves here. Got it.
Asian elf.
Tien. Though Tien is effectively the Asian section of the
East
territory.
Asia mostly.
East Asia mostly.
It's like the Greek cultures meant like in Asian cultures like that. Sorry, I don't really know.
Because Elven culture is very unique.
Elven culture isn't comparable to, I think.
It's just really naturistic.
Yeah.
But also
They're
God-
aliens.
Also
too.
depends on the kind of elf.
Yeah.
If they're elves from the elf homeland, they're like weirdos.
Well, all elves are a little weird, to be fair.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, I'm only half weird.
Still a little weird.
You're still weird.
Yep. 50% weird.
Regardless, when first entering, you'll kind of be left on your own, but eventually someone will kind of approach you and kind of give a small bow and be like, welcome. Is there anything I can assist you with? Perhaps you are here for some lessons. Many of our lessons have started for the day.
Hello.
Even rough and tumble individuals such as yourselves are welcome here, as we have had many in the past.
Just to clarify from the group, so we know what we're doing. We're just gonna be straight asking for this. Yaalkol's grand.
That was Yaalkol's plan. Yaalkol was basically pausing to let one of you guys go with another plan before he goes.
Well, I was gonna say we were hoping to have
A
a
meeting
conversation
with
her,
her, the artist.
her name.
Oh, you're the artist. What's the name of the artist again?
Oh, that's right, the artist lady that's
I'll
here.
put this in the chat.
And-
Nizumi
Oh,
Mizumi.
oh,
Nambatwa.
Chester should take the lead because Chester knows the most about this person.
We were hoping to actually see if we could have a word with Miss Notbois.
Non-Batwa.
Non-Batwa.
Non-botchable.
May I ask what it's about?
We were thinking about being patrons.
Well, certainly there are many that are patrons, but if you are looking to invest in the arts, I would say it's unfortunate that the Shogunate of the Isles is the true patron of many of the artists in this area, and of the seminary itself. But if you are looking to learn, or perhaps to find an individual to become the direct patron of, you're more than welcome to ask around, though many are still students who believe themselves not perfected their craft. And I would ask that you wouldn't interrupt them while they're taking their lessons, at least.
That's very understandable.
As for the head instructor, well, she is indisposed with the class at the moment, but if you wish to communicate with her and see if she would know of a particular student, again, if you are interested in finding someone to patron, I can inform her once her classes are done. Feel free to observe some of the classes, as long as you do not disrupt them, or to just enjoy the gardens here. There's like a garden in the center of the entire thing. Think of it like as like almost like a ring of buildings, which have all the various classes that are, as I said, very open, with this kind of garden in the center. And beyond a main building, which is like straight from the entrance, is the large tree. And like the buildings that are like ringing it kind of continue that way. So it's almost like two circles, where you're in the lower circle where the garden is.
May I ask, is it just the fine arts that are taught here, or are there any physical arts as well, like dancing?
Those of us that learn here learn the art of the geisha. If you're unfamiliar with it, there are many aspects to what a geisha is. Traditional culture had different understanding of what a geisha was in ancient Tienian times, but in more modern aspects of it, it is an artist who is multi-talented in a way, and one that knows how to be more personal in their ability to entertain. We seek not the largest crowds, but those that we can win the hearts over directly.
Very interesting. I might observe some of the classes then, until the mistress is available.
She'll give another bow and leave you.
I definitely will partake in observing some classes, especially if I see any that are doing dancing, since that is my forte.
I'd look for any that are doing like the table manners. If I find one that's doing an etiquette class,
yes.
I would try. I would sit in on an etiquette class.
You can find an etiquette class, and
they're gonna have to work overtime on you, dude.
I would pay very close attention and write notes in my little journal.
Notebook.
There is probably forms of dancing here. It's nothing like you'd probably used to. As like your dancing is probably a lot more like upbeat, and probably like more to use the term jig related, you know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think I would still be interested to see how this culture dances.
Yes. But certainly you could enjoy sitting in on the various, or like observing the various classes, or hanging around here. And the classes will go on for a number of hours. It'll be much later in the day when a half-elven woman... is anybody not observing anything?
I'm not observing anything. I'm just kind of milling around the garden.
Okay. then
I would be trying to, because the Bard College, right? So I imagine somewhere on the line somebody has a book somewhere I can like potentially check out or something like that.
they probably
they're not gonna,
don't
you're-
really
they're not
have
a
a
student.
library. Yeah, not the same way
Like
that you'd
Wanderers,
understand.
like-
Yeah.
Ooh, I have a help with comprehend languages. I can understand
But
that.
No, I
You
mean
could
like
probably-
like not a traditional library.
Not a
Yeah.
traditional book library.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they probably each have their personal collections of like poetry, but like they wouldn't be like for public consumption.
Yeah.
They're most-
You can
Probably.
That's what I
probably sit on like it's a Bard's college, so I mean
Oratory.
that means there must be some magical classes at least a
Yeah.
bit, right? Because Bard,
And,
In
I
fact,
mean, if anything,
no.
they
This does not
probably
count as a
wander
bard
around.
college,
Ooh.
as this is a
this
place.
is
The bards come here because it
Yeah.
helps them with their artistic skills and stuff.
I understand. Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
This is
so-
a pure art school. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a pure art school that a lot of bards do favor. So there are a lot of bards here, but a lot of them would have their own personal stuff. Just like most of the teachers probably have personal belongings and like books and stuff that maybe perhaps if they have a particular student they feel like necessary to share things with, or to point in directions for looking up and finding books on their own, things like that. You
Yep.
know,
How
that's
about
what
the
we do.
art? How about the art of fencing now, Jacob? I think I sit in a couple of different classes and get bored, and eventually I'm just sitting.
There
board.
might actually be like a sword dancing kind of.
I definitely would be watching that.
It's almost like using the basics of like a type of like sword based martial arts, and then like displaying it artistically.
Yeah. I think Revia just ends up sitting bored
Mm-hmm.
after like the first hour.
But actually, Myste, a half-elven woman of a definitely darker complexion than your average elf or half-elf in this area, will approach you.
Oh, fancy.
You wished to speak with me.
Oh, yes, there were. Where are they? I'll look around for my companions. If there's,
Probably see
if
Revia.
there's any in the gardens.
See Revia sitting on a bench, bored.
Yes, I'll like wave over Revia.
Yeah, I mean, if the classes have finished, then I probably
They
would
have
make my
not.
way to the garden.
Uh,
Okay, then I'm probably still watching.
Yeah, the classes go all day. It's just that Nazumi's classes have ended for now.
I get up excited as now that I can do something. I no longer have to be bored. Is something cool happening? I just say,
how do you say that last name?
man,
Nanbatwa. Yes.
Madam
Yeah.
Nanbatwa.
oh, wonderful. I guess we should collect everyone, or at least
They're
Chester.
busy.
Well,
I don't know where they
Think-
are either.
I think Chester was talking about the swords dancing thing. I think I saw him there for a minute.
If
Hardly.
it would be so rude to say, would you at least try to hurry up what it is you speak of?
Honestly,
We
we can
don't-
do it just us. That's fine.
You guys
Where-
can handle it.
How do we want to approach this? We're
We-
looking for an individual who may have been interested in such arts, as our captain is seeking them out as their relative.
Many come to our facilities and use them or reflect upon it. There are those that enjoy the arts directly by practicing them. Thousands visit from throughout the Shackles and the nearby area, of course.
We look for a gold dragon named Shinier.
It's unlikely they'd be using that name, but yes.
Yes, but they are a gold dragon.
Gold Dragon.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Peculiar, I know.
Yeah, not one that is the usual sorts of I guess alignment.
I
Sorts.
would not know of many gold dragons. Stories of my mother of dragons of very different ilk from her homeland. And of course my father would speak of those of the Expanse, which very few are of the metallic variety. Though not to know that I have not heard of tales of such things. So, it is unfortunate to say that if you are saying that they are hiding in amongst the people here, that is a very difficult thing. There are plenty of people that hide their true selves when they come here. Not all are open to the arts in such a way. Many of your more rugged individuals amongst the shackles would not learn such beauty and such crafts as flower arranging, and want their more rugged fellows to know about that. Though man or woman, any ilk, any species is welcome, as long as I have influence over this place. But certainly there is a certain level of toughness seen in pirates that something as simple and beautiful as many of the arts we study here are a bit outside of that range. We are not studying the jaunty tunes and rough limericks that many more artistic pirates normally go for. Soft arts are traditionally not seen well in much of the shackles, I believe.
No, not typically, and I certainly know at least one person who's not a fan of all the pirate singing and dancing.
Is there anything else you know about this gold dragon that could help
We
us?
know they like to fuck.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really help us narrow it down.
Doesn't help,
okay?
but
Do we?
Especially since a lot of bards come here.
yeah.
Did we know anything about like any specifics? What they like?
Ooh.
Is there a way to find that out?
No, we
had
literally
some
knew
high
the name.
rolls. We learned the name, and we learned they're not of typical alignment.
Yeah, so we know that
We know they're here.
We know they've been here.
Ooh,
And we've
would this
also
be-
learned that they don't have a preference for which biological sex they change into,
Okay,
which is
so
odd for shape changers.
could I use knowledge dungeoneering to see like where you would hide if I was a dungeon?
Dungeoneering would
If
you were
not
in
be
a dungeon?
Dragons.
Dragons.
This could be Dragon's Lair. You don't know.
Dragons
Arcana is
use
dragons, right?
Arcana, if you want to
Yeah.
know about it.
It's technically, probably better for you.
Yeah, it's way better. It's like
Yeah.
a lot more.
All right. Certainly, like if you're thinking like, if you wanted to do this earlier, like to think about like traditional stuff about gold dragons. The thing is, this is a very untraditional gold dragon, which makes some of your knowledge not helpful. But there still could be a core of something. Gold dragons are traditionally very honor-bound. Many of them look to humanoids as something to shepherd, to look after. They have a benevolent nature, but unfortunately it also is kind of hindered by the fact that they're incredibly powerful, so they kind of look down on your average humanoid and see you as like a small child to look after almost, or to help protect directly or indirectly. They still have the dragon's pendants for having a massive love of gold and treasure. I could probably go over their abilities, but
That doesn't help us there. I guess.
those don't
Would,
really help.
Maybe any specifically rich patrons?
I mean, we're
Yeah, that's
pretty
what I was
rich.
thinking.
We're
that
covered
any-
in magical items.
The thing is, if you would come and there could be a way to honestly lure out a powerful dragon if it's in the town. Wealth, and or something like a powerful magic item perhaps offered. There are probably plenty of people that would want to patron that. But even as good and noble as a gold dragon is, all druid dragons just have a innate love of treasure. It's not something they can get away from. There are no dragons that, at least of the true dragons, that do not love and covet treasure in some form, and wealth. One of their major hobbies is sleeping on a good old pile of gold and gems and stuff like that. Like,
I mean, I do carry around an artifact of the Compass of the Damned.
We're
That's a
all
thought, that's a
blazing with
thought.
magical items. Let's be real.
Well,
Uh,
other thing to note, mechanically speaking, because this is a mechanic in Pathfinder that doesn't come up very often. Due to what level we are, every magic item we carry is considered legendary at this point,
oh well, never mind. That
because legend lore specifies that.
Oh yeah. Well, any item that is recognizable.
Yes, which would be your weapons, or your armor, or your children.
Yeah, like my parapet of health and cloak of resistance wouldn't count, but like my
I think-
sword, like
My Thundering Earthbreaker definitely does.
My robe with scintillating colors would be fantastic here.
and the robe actually might be recognized with leather robe because it'd be like your armor. It's the robe, and
Yeah.
it's got scintillating colors. It's noticeable.
I
Literally
guess
got
if
it.
I take off the
Example.
hat of disguise, my gown
Your
might
gown,
actually
yeah.
be notable.
For example,
Your leg.
to know, no, the revolver I have, when blinded a dragon turtle, would
Yeah.
be considered something of that kind of value, as it's a legendary item with a story. Your dress, Yaalkol's hammer, would also be considered such things under these weird mechanics that exist,
Most of the time, they really only come up for using legend lore on it.
specifically for legend lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically anyone level 10 and up,
Anyone level 10 and up has
some of their items become legendary because of their
because
recognizable.
of who they are, yeah.
Yeah.
So we could bait with those.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bait with the revolver since I don't use it very much.
That sounds better because everything I have, I use.
I mean, the other thing I was saying, like, he's benevolent, so, and he has Strong has a loyalty, especially looking down upon humanoid portray like more like childlike in his mind. Isn't Yaalkol essentially his, lesser child of some sort that
This
he should
dragon
have
has a
some-
lot of
I'm, not
children.
I'm literally his grandchild.
This dragon has a lot of children and grandchildren.
I know.
You know,
I know that, but
So
I'm just
I was thinking we can hire some of these bards to commission like a play to tell Yaalkol's story, and have it played out. So if he is watching somewhere, he'll be like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And then it'll be like based on a true story.
I like your idea.
I actually
except-
love this idea because it's fun. It's insane.
That sounds like it might take too much time.
Yeah,
That
the
sounds
thing
like
is
a
that
lot
both
of
we
effort.
write
Writing
the
a play, like
Yeah.
shit. Like that's a lot of prep. We don't have time for it. But that's a lovely.
But it's
idea
not a no
for-
though. Just write it down.
The maybe.
That's a future plan.
It being the play.
Regardless. We have
How do
items we
we-
can
yeah.
bait it with, and we'll bid the lovely madam goodbye as we wasted her time.
Yeah, I don't think she can help us unless she. Yeah.
I'll tell you, she might know something, but it's sort of like you'd have to have a starting point. Like
Yeah, we don't really. All we have is name, which the dragon is not using, and it's a gold dragon that likes to fuck. Which we're not mentioning that last part.
Yeah.
Like we have. The problem is we lack information to even
Yeah.
have a starting point.
This
Yeah.
is such
We're
a
basically
Do you have
shooting
any
blank.
rich, horny patrons?
Like
A lot
shit,
of them,
like that's not
weirdly.
really helpful. Actually, okay, I have an idea. Do you have any patrons that are particularly long-lived, and that sometimes may have like a long break in between patroning anything, right?
We
Because
might
this dragon
also
doesn't
just-
always lives here, right? It lives basically forever, and if it goes under the same name, right, that could be noted.
It might not, though. It might be different person
I'm
every.
trying, okay? Like, let's
no,
just
these
see
are
what
good
this is.
questions.
Yeah,
These
no,
are
they're good questions.
I have those are my questions, right?
Yeah.
If this exists, that's at least something to go on.
Certainly, there are many that would look to patron our facility. and many of the other students here, many of which are, of course, older, as there are many elves in our city. But, of course, because our city is more unique and many of those would be known, you're asking for patrons outside of our city, and there are far less of those. As much as we are a member of the Ushinawa Isles here, we aren't the primary people in charge of this, as many such as our great shogunate are human here, of course. So I would say there is the there are a few folks that might fall under that. If you're looking for very rich folks that enjoy our patronage, is there anything else you can say that would narrow down your information?
They would be somewhat kind, but also at the same time, like, charismatic and, you know...
Called lecherous.
Okay, we want to say that, but it could be. You don't know.
Yeah.
I guess they would have a keen eye for expensive art or things of rare repute and or I guess
Quality.
people.
Yeah, they would likely be also like they might be like condescending in just normal tone, right?
These are all rich people. That's not going to really narrow it down.
Yeah.
No, what you need is somebody who's not an idiot rich person. Somebody who's a smart rich person who actually knows what the fuck they're talking about. That's what's going to set them apart, because they're an ancient dragon. They're probably smart. Most of the other rich people are going to be either pirates who plundered most of their riches, or landed gentry that probably don't have a lot of like actual skill. They won't know the art.
Did landed gentry actually talk down to the fine arts that they're patroning? That feels like a little like a weird thing to do, right? Okay. Well then, yeah.
Yaalkol knows this, yeah.
Yaalkol knows this, yeah. I'll test it.
Yaalkol knows the truth.
Yaalkol doesn't know shit about this. He's in a class learning about etiquette. I'm giving advice.
Yeah. Any of those assist? I guess it's. Who knew finding a dragon would be hard?
Weird, I know.
Perhaps I can help you then. There are an association of more wealthy individuals that live within the town here, or visit within the town, that function as our de facto patronage under the shogunate. Though the shogunate supports much of the arts and of course defenses of many of our cities, there are plenty of wealthy individuals from throughout the shackles that also would like to donate money. And with the permission of the shogunate, a number of years ago, an association was formed. They, they have a meeting place in another area of town. The Golden Lotus. I do not know if any of them would be the being you speak of, but if you're looking for more wealthy individuals that would show interest in patronage, that would be perhaps a place to look. And certainly a gold dragon in disguise of a mortal would have plenty of funding to join with that group. As for others that stand out, unfortunately I cannot think of any that would fit the information you've given me so far.
Well, that's a lead at least.
I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Would would we be able to gain an audience with the Golden Lotus people?
I could send a message to its local leader. By local, I mean one of our one of the wealthy elven individuals that form the backbone of the facility here.
I would think anything you could do for us.
Mr. Tanakara, Miwa Tanakara. I can send a message. Perhaps you should arrive tomorrow morning. I can send a message that you would arrive then. It would be prudent to give Mr. Tanakara enough time to prepare for you.
Hey Cantus, wouldn't know about this personally myself, but I've seen in like books where like it's sometimes customary to be like, hey, here's like some sort of gift or something to prove that we're serious. Is that something? Is there a check that I can make as a character to see that's like traditional legal to do here?
For a facility like this one, probably no. It would be a knowledge local check, I would say, or nobility royalty, because that's where a lot of mannerisms and stuff and traditions come for.
I have a 10 in there, so I rolled an 8 though.
Yeah, honestly, none of that's more individual based, like a gift. The person that you're going to meet, the Mr. Tanakara, a gift to them might be prudent, especially if they're going to assist you. But then the question becomes, are they going to assist you or not? Like, how much are they willing to assist you? You don't know. You're being introduced to a person that's members of basically a rich art patron club. You know, and that's kind of hard to say because, like, a gift would probably be prudent, at least to this person. Less that it would be an expensive gift and just something to show your willingness to work together with them or to be respectful. Again, not necessary. Especially because you are not of Tianian culture. All of you are outsiders in comparison to that. But a respectable thing in the basic Tianian culture wouldn't be seen badly. It might give you... Basically, you might get a bonus to any kind of like diplomacy checks or like, you know, things like that related to this person if you would give a gift. I guess I'll simplify it down to that. So if you want to, yes, it'll have an effect, but you don't need it. Okay. Not having it won't penalize you.
What do you guys think?
I don't think we really need to do anything special.
I mean,
I feel like we're... Yeah, but I feel like we might just be like, we might insult them. Unless we know, right? Something more particular.
I mean, you could do
a bad
something...
gift is worse than no gift.
But I mean, if you go to something generic, like maybe some nice tea, or you know, some like a nice bottle of wine, or in this case, sake.
I guess we can find the shop and buy something nice real quick.
We could also try to, you know, go to like a nicer shop and, you know, try to gather information. Maybe this person shops here. Is there something specifically they like?
Sure. We can spend some time and gather information on this guy and figure out what he likes so we can make a good impression.
Okay. If you want to roll a diplomacy at a local shop, I will have you use your gather information for it.
Yep. clicky buttons.
I get a +10,
All right.
so I will assist.
Certainly.
I think I don't need assistance.
42, huh?
You can actually find out a good deal of information about Mr. Tanakara. He is, in fact, the second oldest elf in the city. And is the wealthiest. Tanakara, or Miwa, I'll just go for Miwa, just because easier. Miwa here is, in fact, one of the major persons that, if there's an issue with the fleets for the shogunate, because remember, the shogunate is officially recognized, but also is a pirate fleet technically, because they are combining the law and order of Tianian society along with adapting to the shackles. So their fleets are very militaristic, but also they will pirate the shit out of things if they need to help get some funding in. This man has huge connections back in Tien, and is one of the major backers of the shogunate, and if there is an issue when it comes to money, is there. This person's important. That's a good thing to find out about. They have influence with the ruling class of the island. For what they like, he does have an extensive alcohol collection of various alcohols, not only from local and from beyond.
Well, is there, I guess with my check, I'm sure I can find like a shop that would be good to buy nice vintage local alcohol.
Sure. You can find something. How much do you want to spend?
What's a reasonable price for this person's position?
That's a very good question. This person is probably locally one of the most influential people beyond the actual shogun. I would say.
Okay. So like 100 gold?
100 gold would probably be reasonable, definitely. Maybe a little bit over.
I wouldn't want to go like too over and seem like, oh, we're just kissing his ass.
Yeah. 100 would, you definitely know 100 would be within a range that would feel reasonable and stuff, and it would be something that's fairly expensive, very expensive, but also not like the most expensive alcohols are there. There are more expensive ones that would probably you could find, but that's within a range of like an old vintage or something, maybe something brought in from Tien that's been kept like in like this bar collection or something, and hasn't been opened yet, and it's probably something a little harder alcohol too, because those tend to be more expensive. So yeah,
I buy it.
Okay.
There. And I guess then we go meet this guy, right?
Okay.
Unless anyone has anything else they can think of.
Do we want to take our break here before the meeting?
That is a perfect point in time to do it. I was going to say that if you didn't have anything else, but I was going to check first.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I don't believe anything else here.
Because then we can... I just wanted to have us like go into the meeting when we came back. That's
To be clear, we left Yaalkol to continue doing etiquette lessons while we were doing this.
No, go pick me up before it.
We're picking up before we meet Dal.
Pick me up from school. I'm scared.
I just imagine like Yaalkol's in the like flower arranging class right now or something.
Yeah, I've started in the etiquette class, but as the classes were moving, I just followed the flow classes.
Yeah.
And you just see me standing. There's like a bunch of geisha. I'm very gracefully like making a bouquet of flowers, and then you see them all just like clap like gently while they're watching me. Yaalkol's found his calling. He was meant to be a geisha.
Yeah.
Yaalkol multi-class is level 1 geisha.
Yaalkol's, that's Yaalkol's post game goals.
Anyway, snack, drink, bathroom break. Go ahead and have them, and we'll be back in a bit. That's what I want to hit. I will click these buttons and have us return. That was the wrong thing to turn off.
I'm good at being evil.
Well, that's good for me to know. You're evil!
I'm gonna worship Asmodeus.
I feel like there's better evil gods you could worship. You know, I've been there, done that.
You know, I haven't been there yet. Okay, gotta try it first.
No, you need to play an evil bard who worships Saturn.
Yeah. True.
I played a good bard that worshipped Gordon, the fisherman.
God,
I'm just gonna play a barbarian who worships Gorom, okay, and I just killed him.
That's fair.
Look, I needed someone to travel domain, and it needed to be fish related, so it was Gordon.
Blood for Gorom. Anyway, so we
you bought some wine.
Bought some fancy wine. We've retrieved our
box of
child
fancy
who we left.
wine.
Sure.
yeah,
Box of wine.
Box of wine. But see, box wine is fancy in this time period, okay?
It would be different. To be
It would
fair,
be-
wine doesn't traditionally come in a box.
It would be like a thing you buy for novelty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but instead of a cardboard box, it's wood.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they had cardboard, so...
They might
Well,
have
wood.
cardboard in some parts of this world.
True. Go to Absalom, okay?
Yeah,
Things are
Absalom
fun.
might have cardboard.
Anyway.
We go meet this elven dude.
Yeah, we
Okay.
pick up our son from school to bring him along.
Sons, because I was still in dancing
Yeah.
class.
All right. Again, you're going to meet tomorrow morning. So you'll head. I assume you'll go back to the ship, rest up for the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to stay in the local inn, there probably is one.
Nah,
Why pay the money?
we have a ship.
This
We're
is
technically paying to be docked anyways.
Yeah, why pay money for a place to stay when you have a mobile place?
I mean, to be fair, an inn is more comfortable than the ship. But we don't need comfort right now.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, you can head for the Golden Lotus the next day. The Golden Lotus is, in fact, for what the place is, it's a fairly nondescript building. It still has the same fanciness that all the buildings in this town has, but it doesn't have, like, anything that screams extreme wealth, which is kind of odd from what you've heard. You know, from what you've heard, it should be a fairly wealthy place, but it doesn't seem that way. At least nothing that they have there displays the mass amount of wealth. There doesn't seem to be a lot of traffic coming in and out, and it does seem to be more of a private place. But certainly, you know that you have an invite to it. What are the people doing? Knocking on the door? Doing something else? Just
Yeah, we have a letter of introduction, correct?
A letter of introduction was being sent for you.
Yeah.
So I assume it's already here. We took a while.
We clearly FBI search warrant the door down, as we are wont to do.
Yaalkol kicks the door in.
Yeah.
I knock.
Yeah, just knock.
Yeah.
Knock politely on the door, like reasonable people.
Okay. An older, finely dressed half-elf man will kind of open the door and kind of be like, "Can I help you?"
Oh fuck, he's so posh.
I believe a letter was sent from Miss Non-Botwa. About us wanting to meet.
Yes. You have a meeting with Mr. Tanakara.
Yes.
This way, please.
Thank you.
Walk in. I'm
It
uncomfortable.
looks as though like there's kind of an initial like kind of hallway with a set of stairs that leads upstairs, and there seems to be 2 rooms off to either side. They both seem to be very sitting room kind of areas where you can see there's a number of people that are serving approximately half dozen what you're guessing are members. You'll actually be led farther back into the building, into a kind of small back sitting room. Please wait here for a while. I will contact Mr. Tanakara and inform him of your arrival.
He has a British butler.
Thank you.
It'll be a little bit of a wait, but not too long of one, before a elderly elven gentleman will kind of take a step into the room. You can see that he is wearing very fine silken kind of outfit. That kind of it's certainly of the Tienian style, and you can tell it is certainly high class, but it's also relatively simple. There isn't anything incredibly fancy about it. It just seems to be very well made, and of course made of very expensive, like probably very expensive silks and stuff. But like, there's no jewels, gems, no gold lace or anything like that. It just seems finely crafted and made of a very good material. So, what is it you, ladies and gentlemen, wish from me? I have been informed from the esteemed Miss Nanbatwa that you have an interest or something to speak with me about our association. As much as I do not wish to be disrespectful to you, but simple pirates, even those that are indeed pirate lords, yes, I do recognize you, are not known for the wealth that is required to be members of our group. Traditionally, most of you spend your money on various sundries or pay for your various fleets and cities. Not such of a time. Granted,
well,
I understand a wish for patronage of the arts, perhaps as something, and I can suggest some things to assist you on that matter. But if it's not membership you're looking for, what is it you want with us? O Grand Lords of the Shackles.
I hate this man.
First, we have a humble gift for you in your, I don't know.
Collection.
Richness.
Richness.
I give him the bottle of wine, I guess, to the butler.
He'll take the wine. The butler's not in here right now.
Okay,
he'll take a look at the drink you've given him, and kind of like, you'll see him raise an eyebrow. Well, it seems as though my initial impressions were a little false, as he's going to kind of like sit down in a nice chair and kind of put it to the side of him. You at least know how to show respect to your elders, and you know of the culture that I come from. A gift such as this is reasonable.
Well, to cut it short so we don't have to, waste anyone's time, we're searching for our dear captain's grandparent. We suspect they may be a part of your organization, or something like that. They are a gold dragon. Likely not under that as their primary
Form.
personage.
Form.
Thank you.
Danger.
Words. Sometimes they escape. But they would be known for coming to these islands, and they are one for the arts.
I'm well aware of Shinmir and its patronage of our group and membership, if that is what you're implying.
Yeah, we're trying to find out where they are.
This brings me to a conundrum. I can see, certainly, that you carry the blood of a dragon within you, so it is more logical that you are indeed the grandchild of Shinmir, but there is a level of privacy that our membership enjoys.
Well, you could send Shinrir a message about a location to meet us, and if they come, they come.
That is much easier said than done. One does not simply send a message to any of our members very easily unless someone uses magic. And even then, many times they have ways of preventing such annoyances from reaching them if they do not want it. Privacy is something that is set up within our group, usually.
Well, this is a special case, is it not? I mean, clearly our captain here has the blood of a gold dragon. He is in fact gold.
Clearly. That is why I am saying there is a conundrum here, because it is not outside the realm of possibility to reach someone about a relative of theirs. Though there are plenty of relatives that I would have, that I would perhaps be less inclined to meet. Not many of my relatives have had such success as myself over the years, and there are certainly some more extended relatives that would wish to take advantage of that. Granted, I'm not saying that's your case, Mr. Yaalkol. Yes?
Yaalkol's just staring at him, and he says, yeah, I'm not here for money.
No. Someone in your position certainly would not be in here.
So aggressive.
Is there possibly a meeting that might be coming up of your society that you might be able to pull him aside and have his ear for a moment and ask him if it would be possible to meet?
It's rare such meetings occur, and most of the time they are not planned. It merely happens that there are enough members and some kind of issue comes up. As it currently stands, if some form of issue came up that our membership would require, there are in fact enough members here. The fortunate nature of myself and a few of the other backers of the colony here mean that most of the required members are here all the time. It merely requires a few extras to be visiting the Isle for various reasons.
Well, are you able or willing to, I don't know, tell us Shinra's location, or like have a meeting to see if everyone agrees if that's okay?
That is what I have been considering.
Ah, you're considering, huh?
Well,
again, I'm sure there are plenty of rules, as much as the Shackles can be a place of lack of rules. Even amongst your council, there are ways and decisions that must be made, and rules that are to be abided by. Yes?
Like 2, but yeah.
there's more than 2.
Yeah, there's more than 2, but I was being sarcastic.
The same could be said for our organization here. There are rules to be abided by. But I am considering whether your situation versus the rules means that there could be an exception to those rules. That is what I am considering.
And would anything help you consider it in our favor? Could we do something for you?
A curiosity, perhaps. Why are you seeking your grandparent?
Yaalkol will pull himself to his full height, and he'll say, because my grandparent's going to tell me where my dad is, and then I'm going to go kill my dad. You are standing between me.
Oh, okay, Yaalkol. Yaalkol. Sit down, Yaalkol. No, shut up, Yaalkol. We're so close. Just stop. God.
I'm tired of you people and your formalities. Tell me where he is. And I'm gone. Or, if you would like, I could make a problem that your council will arrange.
I will Yaalkol, stop.
Just...
He doesn't break face at all. He doesn't respond to this. He just says, "Seems as though the captain has some emotional issues at hand that are more than just a meeting with a grandparent could solve."
Yes.
Well, you know, it's a step. It's a long staircase. Gotta make some steps, right?
Yes.
So are you willing? He answered your question of why.
He did. He brought up much more deep issue.
So is that a yes or a no? Like,
We can promise that violence will not become of this meeting. At least not directed.
Again, not
That
the
is
issue
right.
at hand.
I don't think he's worried about the ancient dragon. I'm gonna be
Oh,
honest.
believe me, an ancient dragon could easily deal with this.
Like, we would be nothing.
Right, but we don't want to get him in trouble if Yaalkol would
I know.
try
that-
to be stupid enough to attack.
I do know that dragons are a fan of artifacts and certain items. Perhaps instead of a meeting with a child.
Look, the case that you've come in has brought a even more of a conundrum now because of what your captain has brought up. Because some information I have has allowed me to connect a few dots. I am aware of a man named Terok being the
If you know-
child of our member, Shinya.
If you know what Tarog is, we could just skip to that, actually.
I am not aware of where Terok is. I know of Terok. The Ushiniwa Islands remained neutral when Terok attempted his revolution. So, our shogunate sat back and watched, siding with neither at the time. The shogunate of the time, of course. And I advised such things. Though Ushiniwa is, under the influence of the Shackles Council, we certainly are a Tienian colony, nonetheless. Meaning that we abide by two rules. A reason that we could not directly interfere in a revolution, so to say. But it did mean that our neutrality means that we had to keep said neutrality. So, your actions and your influence effectively tell me that I would be breaking said neutrality.
I mean, that's like 3 steps removed, is it not?
True. But nonetheless, there are those back home that could still see my actions and pointing you in a direction that may or may not lead to direct influence on these overall politics.
Could you write it down on a piece of paper and drop it, and then we stumble upon it, and it's never you that gave it to us, and it never gets back to you.
The thing is, whether or not Shinryu helps you or not is beyond my capabilities.
So it's not on you at all.
Again,
It's up to someone else
Revia,
entirely.
let the man speak.
you again say that, but fault can be found in many places. What I was saying is, rather than arrange a meeting, perhaps I can at least point you in a direction.
That's all
Something
we
that would
wanted.
be in the middle ground. You would have to find things out for yourself.
Yeah.
That seems very fair.
I know for a fact The dragon you seek will be in Quent 1 week from today. There's an auction going on. One that is perhaps not smiled upon by the ladyship who rules over Quent. But because of a certain number of very influential and wealthy individuals, cannot be stopped. I know for a fact there will be a dragon there. Why they are there, what they are looking for, I cannot help you with that. But if you truly wish to find them on your own, that might be your bet.
Thank you for the information about the auction. We're surely going to go purchase many items.
Well, I wish you luck, then. Success on winning your bids, and not overspending. As any good person of wealth knows, it is how you spend your money, not whether you have it or not, that matters. Well, if you excuse me, if there's nothing else.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your assistance.
I'll have someone escort you out in a little bit.
Oh, isn't it just like down?
They don't
clearly
want
never
people
been
just,
in a noble's presence.
they don't want you just walking around the grounds.
No.
Oh, that's fair.
Eventually the same older gentleman that escorted you in will come to escort you out.
Yeah, we leave.
Okay.
I guess we're heading to Quint.
Mm-hmm.
There won't be any violence at this auction, will there, Yaalkol? You'll keep your cool.
Yeah, cool.
I have no intention of attacking the Shinari.
I'll keep you to that, okay? We don't want to be causing problems at Quint, okay? Remember our friends at rules Quint, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool. We leave to go to Quint.
Okay. Again, not a difficult journey too. Certainly you can arrive before the time of said auction and prepare for it. If you want to look into it, I'd probably need honestly, gather information. You're looking for a
black market, semi-illegal dealings.
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of wealthy merchants have enough influence probably over the goings on in Quent as a large city and port that though your very good friend, who I've got to look up the name of because again
Tessa Fairwind.
Tessa Fairwind probably doesn't like that they're having this auction for who knows what reason. Can't really say no to them.
Figure it out soon.
Question. Before we go looking for said information, can I see if there may be a blue book for Quint?
Sure. I don't know what you have to do that.
It's just an item. I don't know.
You just have to. It's an item you can just buy.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the item does.
Yeah.
I have one. I have one
too.
Specifically for Port Peril. I want to see if I can get one here. If we read it, we get a bonus on.
Yeah,
honestly,
I wasn't too worried about it, to be honest, but yeah.
Honestly, there probably is one. That's something I can certainly say. Quent's a large enough city that it would most likely have it. So being the second largest city in all the Shackles.
since it's a city that we do somewhat go to,
No, I get you.
I think it's a good idea to have it.
Yeah.
And having an extra
good
bonus
perspective.
doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
All right. So, what am I rolling this with then?
If you want to take an hour to read the book, you get the +2
2.
circumstance bonus.
Is that
And
stack of aid another?
Uh,
Aid circumstance?
I can't remember what aid is off the top of
Or
my
is it
head.
competency?
I think it's
Yeah,
competence.
it is competence.
Competency? Okay. So
I
I'll
can assist you.
Yeah,
I can.
So +4 to this, I guess, and then
Okay.
it's a 38 or 39. People know me and
Yeah.
quite frequently.
Yeah, your reputation will probably be plenty here. So yeah, you can ask around to try to find out information. Certainly, you can find out about this auction. There'll be a number of names which I'm going to say are not important. I'm not, unless you really want them. But it seems to be a cadre of various shady merchants that use the shackles, honestly, to effectively smuggle things between various locations and or launder stuff, things like that, as the shackles is honestly a criminal empire kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
pirates.
it's not a good place.
Yeah. These shady merchants, in fact, they seem to have an influence over the politics of Quent because they put an amount of money to invest in a lot of things and have certainly, not directly, but indirectly assisted Tessa in her rise to power. Basically by making Quent a much more stable location. And it's something that Tessa would certainly recognize. It's sort of like she doesn't want to admit that their presence has been helpful in making her position as stable as it is. Not to say that most of her actual own work wasn't to make herself a powerful member of the Pirate Council, but again, there are people taking advantage of that in the background that have done good towards that. And this is some of these people. So, the things that are going on here are things that are a little less well looked upon in Quent, and are technically illegal in Quent, but also they're not actually doing it there. There's a number of illegal substances that are being traded in, various types of artifacts, and though not directly trading in them, it is assumed that certain objects are representative of slave trades that will go on in other areas, basically with this. With a number of basically high rollers making deals for very rare or large deals on things like that. So
I just picture Quark being at the auction house.
Yeah. So think of it
and
like
running this.
they're like something like that might be a book for sale might in fact represent like a slave trade for something that will take place somewhere else, but the actual deal will take place here.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that might be going on.
Okay.
The same could be said with a number of, as I said, various very effectively drugs and stuff like that that are not looked on well in many areas. Things like that are going through this point in time. And a number of probably more dangerous artifacts or magic items. There are some other more reasonable stuff at this auction, which they have effectively twice a year. And so this is one of the ones that are coming up. But again, it's sort of like they're not doing a lot of this stuff directly in Quent. So it's another reason that, like, they're allowed to get away with it.
The arrangements are made here, but the actual exchange of product is outside the borders.
Yes. This is more an opportunity to basically set up people together that are making deals rather than the actual deals themselves.
Yeah.
So.
Makes
All right. If anybody wants to look over that, you can with the check you got. You can actually find effectively a list of items that are going to be for sale, and have a general idea of what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it might help us figure out which one the dragon's trying to buy specifically.
Yep.
Yeah, and also there might be something we might want. You could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
We're feeling generous. You could free some slaves.
Does anyone tell Yaalkol? Because Yaalkol wouldn't understand the metaphor of what's going on with this. He wouldn't pick up on the fact that the books mean other stuff.
Myste certainly isn't, because Myste doesn't want Yaalkol to cause a scene and murder a bunch of rich people.
Yeah.
It's not told to Yaalkol.
And Yaalkol to think it's very weird that people are bidding on these books. He says, I'll never understand rich people.
Yeah, I think that's better for the sake of the mission.
Just the general safety of the community.
Yeah, we don't want a wild Yaalkol running. Just like
very dangerous.
Yeah, just cleaving through people.
Yeah. So I will need, in fact, one of you give me a knowledge arcana check on this list, because there might be something that stands out here from the information granted.
Well, that's Jacob's wheelhouse. Could someone help?
That I cannot.
What check?
Knowledge arcana.
That's all on Jacob's wheelhouse.
Yep. Question mark.
Anyone else? Anyone? We're just
Jacob, the only one with high arcana.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is there anyone who could assist him? Is what I think.
I could try to assist.
I could hit a DC 10.
I can't, so
I could
can't
reasonably
do
hit a
anything.
DC 10.
I have a negative.
Well, anyone could do a DC 10, but as long as you don't have a negative.
Yeah. I think it's
I could try. I have a
Jacob,
1.
if you want to roll that knowledge arcana.
Jacob might be okay.
Jacob may have left the
Oh, I have access to the sheet.
Jacob's internet.
I'll see if I can
spotty.
assist.
Yes,
I can assist.
See if you can do an assist.
Here, I'll roll an assist.
How many people? 2 people can assist usually.
Yeah.
I'll say those 2 people because those are probably the people that are looking over the list. Because again, there's supposed to be some magic items and stuff. So I assume you look over the list and then you bring in basically Jacob to be like, do you recognize any of these kind of like descriptions of these magical items or something like this?
44.
All right, yeah. Certainly, I will give this to you. Jacob can't be 100% sure without seeing it, but the descriptions and some of the information provided, it sounds like one of the items there is an orb of dragon kind.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's probably what they're after.
Yeah. So we need to keep an eye on whoever's bidding on that.
Yeah, that's definitely something to look out for. That sounds like definitely out of our. We might struggle to even keep up with the bets. That sounds like it's probably.
Honestly, you think that any of these you might have trouble with. There are certain items that are probably a lot cheaper, but it sounds like a lot of large amounts of money passes through this auction house.
Oh, that makes sense, especially in an illegal auction.
Yeah.
You're not going to find cheap things in an illegal auction.
No. So, I will ask, is there anything in particular you are interested in looking into other than what sounds to be what connects to this dragon?
I'm poor, so no.
I only have like 1,000 gold.
I have a couple grand.
Probably
I have
not enough.
6,400.
Actually, no, I have 1,200. I'm sorry.
Still, probably not enough
Oh,
to
and
have
40
any...
platinum.
Maybe certain things maybe influence on, but it'd be probably pretty hard.
I have 6,400. Does that
I have 1,600.
6,400 is pretty good, and like what I'm saying is like If you wanted to try to like intercept and free some slaves, you might be able to.
My character has no idea what's going on. So
I'm saying
I would have
that would be like
interest.
maybe some drug or slave money, but probably not any of the dangerous magic item money.
Yeah, I have no real interest in any of that stuff. I think it's like books and stuff. So I'm just like, okay.
Like an orb of Dragonkind is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing that nations lock away in vaults, or powerful spellcasters put away because, you know, you never know when you might need it. And also, you aren't sure what type it is. Even if it is one of those. Again, Jacub rolled pretty well there. I'm going to say the description matches it, and some of the magical properties that were just given sound like it. Like, because they don't give all the information about these, you know, things that are for sale. It's sort of like you get an idea of what they are.
Yeah.
All right. So certainly you can head to the auction. It is dress up. So do any of you have some nice outfits?
I do have a very nice
I wear nice clothing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
very nice Parisian style outfit.
Yeah.
I have one outfit.
I put some extra starch in my feather today.
I asked somebody to do a spell to clean off my clothes. My clothes are very foppish, but
We at the Conku Bar got you a special design suit.
Yeah.
no, that's what I wear all the time.
Yeah, I think he just wears all the time.
General.
I wear that. It's like a leather jacket and a big ass hat. That's what I wear all the time.
Misty has a very nice dress that is specifically designed to show off her runic birth tattoos. You can look like anything.
My hat had disguise my clothes to look like my fancy clothes.
Okay.
So I'm always ready to fight.
I'm also wearing my armor.
Yeah.
That's very important. Yaalkol does not take off his armor.
I mean,
Weapons are
always
checked
ready to-
at the door, I will say.
I assume that they would.
I mean, I have my armor on, but yeah. Mine's also just like a leather type of armor. It's not.
I don't need to carry a weapon to be dangerous.
Certainly, there are a lot of guards and stuff, too, to this place. Probably ones that are trained in both martial, and you can tell that some of them are probably spellcasters, too, just in case anybody might knows magic. They've got people that can help take care of that.
Hilariously, I am carrying a weapon that isn't detectable because I have a bladed scarf.
Yeah.
I could technically disguise myself and my weapon be hidden. It'd be
But I will
obvious.
check my musket in, but I will keep the scarf, which is not detectable.
I will only bring my hammer, but I will check it.
Okay.
I won't even bother bringing my weapons because I know that's going to be checked. So.
I won't either. I have a vial of holy water with me for no reason.
No reason.
I don't want to go that far.
Sounds a little sus.
Alright, well, you can arrive at the illegal auction. Hurrah! Auction kit started. Plenty of items are for sale. It is, a little bit of time in between each, item that is auctioned off. And certainly, there is, a lot of activity. It seems as though there are plenty of people that put their names in for various items, which are for auction off, as the entire thing is quite intense. The auctioneer, displays thing, goes off and has like a very serious tone about the entire thing, and certainly you can easily. Not Yaalkol, because I think Yaalkol has like no ability to sense like underlying tones. You can read the room of a lot of these items that, like, they are like, I'd say like 50% of the items are representative items that are for sale basically here. The other 50% are things that are actually for sale, including but not limited to a couple of cursed items.
Cursed items.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm used to those. I'm wearing one all the time.
Yeah.
I know a certain orc man in a different universe would love those.
Oh yeah.
The one thing I do want to do is I just want to make notes on the people who win the bids at the slave auctions.
Okay. Something that is noticeable to you is that approximately half of the crowd wears some kind of mask.
Okay.
Certainly, you can take note of a couple of the people that are winning the slave auctions, but there are certain ones that you can't tell a lot about them.
Yeah. If they're wearing a mask, I'll make a note like what the mask looks like.
Sure.
Might give some kind of identity.
Yeah.
But I figure maybe those who, if we cross paths with any of their ships, it's someone we might be. It's a ship we might want to go out of our way to.
You unfortunately probably don't recognize like anybody here.
Okay.
A bunch of masked people. What is this? Every character I've ever played in D&D?
I mean, there are certain people that aren't
good
masks.
number of masks.
There do seem to be a number of pirates here too, honestly, and some of them have actually given you folks like a look, like taking note of you're here.
Of course they have. We make enemies everywhere we go.
Less that and more that you have to remember you are technically famous to a degree. You are members of the
pirate lords who are now at an illegal auction.
We've done many things.
When I see there's a lot of people masked, I'll mask up, okay? Because I have disguise spells.
Yaalkol is the least disguisable being in existence.
Yeah.
I feel like
I don't even wear a mask. I wear nothing to disguise my presence.
Doesn't care if people see her here because honestly, Misty's got other problems.
Yeah.
I want Shinir to see me.
Okay.
I'm gonna specifically be keeping an eye out for people who bid on the orb.
And certainly the orb will come up in the auction. I will give you, because of Jacub's good check, he will indeed confirm it is an orb of Dragonkind. The unfortunate thing you cannot confirm is they all honestly look very similar, and unless you actually wield one, you cannot learn what kind of orb it is.
Gotta identify that shit.
Yeah. But his honestly above 40 check, and combined with actually seeing it, he can confirm that is what it is. So a fairly dangerous artifact that is here and being for sale.
Also would like to sense motive. If when this comes out, if I notice anyone who specifically looks like they are either very interested or excited that this thing is out.
Okay, go ahead and roll that check.
Sense motive?
Yeah.
Okay. Where the hell's that? There. 26.
Okay.
Great.
You cannot tell if anybody takes a direct notice.
Damn masks.
Yeah. There are 3 individuals that will be bidding for this item. So that is information that is very easy to tell. There is a younger-looking woman who seems human, probably in her 30s, dressed in wearing a very simple mask over the eyes, so nothing super blocking of face. Kind of hair to the shoulders. Seems very well dressed and certainly fairly attractive. There's a half-orc individual who seems older, probably in late 50s, early 60s, who seems particularly interested in it. His outfit screams military, but you're not sure what military.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be of any that you recognize just by seeing it off the top of your head. But it seems a militaristic outfit. And then there is a someone wearing a full mask that is hard to tell. You're guessing is either a halfling or gnome. But they are kind of dressed up in an outfit that kind of conceals them fairly well. It's similar, but a little different from the people that you saw in Beachcomber.
Oh,
Tantus died.
Did I die?
is Tantus dead?
What? Can you hear me?
Rip.
Yeah,
hear you.
he's frozen. The stream's frozen.
The orb got Tantus.
Oh,
The
no.
orb. Tantus is back.
The orb got
Tantus
Tantus.
down. Tantus down.
It
hello?
moved. The camera moved.
No.
Hello? Oh, I
There he
could,
goes.
I could hear you all
You
the entire
froze
time.
completely
Yeah,
for a moment.
yeah. I could hear you all the entire time.
You died.
Like, that was the
Okay.
weird thing is, like, I
Oh,
was...
that was so strange.
Yeah, because the stream even was buffering.
Yeah.
Stream's still up though.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't
well-
drop any frames or anything. That was kind of like a weird hiccup or something.
Classic.
I don't know. It was weird.
I don't
Maybe
get
it was
it. You're
just,
just using Discord, Twitch, and Roll23 with the most notoriously well-working apps in the
Yeah,
world.
man.
And OBS. Don't forget OBS.
Oh,
Yeah.
OBS too. Yeah.
I'm using
Yeah,
all
man.
of those as well.
Notoriously works all the
But
time.
I also have the top tier internet, so.
So yeah. I was saying, where did I leave? Where did I cut off?
There was a full-masked individual who looked like a gnome was the last thing I heard.
Gnome or halfling. It's impossible to tell just because they are covered up enough that
Nice.
you can't.
It's a nobly.
I was trying to say that it looks similar to what the people at Beachcomber had, but it's
Yeah.
certainly uniquely different. So it could just be a similar mask on a smaller individual.
Under the assumption that a dragon can turn into any size category that's at least smaller than it.
A dragon that can take on humanoid shape can
Yeah.
take on a humanoid shape of any size.
Yes, that was. I assumed. I just needed a little refresher.
Yeah, but what dragon would want to become a halfling or no?
One is trying to hide.
Yeah, I mean, who would expect a halfling or a gnome
Yeah.
So
to be a dragon?
those are the three individuals that seem to be bidding on this.
I'll keep an eye out on all three of them.
Okay.
A human, yeah.
A human, a half-orc, and a small man.
I wonder if there's a way for us to tell. But their shape change, I imagine, is like.
Dragon shape change is
transmutation.
perfect.
Yeah, it's a transmutation.
Yeah.
It's a polymorph.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a polymorph type ability.
I could walk up to each of them and whisper their
Alright,
name.
that's rude.
They would never notice.
Good
Most
way to
likely,
laugh.
whoever wins is going to be the dragon.
Potentially.
That might not be true.
Again, the
I
dragon
said
might not,
most
the
likely.
dragon
Yeah.
might not need to win, just know where the orb is, depending on the orb, you know?
So we just follow who wins the orb and hope that the dragon also follows that person.
Again, the dragon might just need to know who they are, too. That's the thing is, like, the question, if the dragon is interested in the orb of dragonkind, which is obvious, that is a good reason to be here.
Yes.
The thing is, winning it, great. Not winning it, depending on who wins it, they might not need to be concerned at all. If it ends up just in someone's collection, you know, they can outlive the person, honestly.
Yep.
Or just, get taken from him at a later time.
Yeah. There's
Little merc.
there's a lot of situations that, you know, dragons have time, patience, and intelligence behind them.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't have any of those.
I have most of those.
Well, you don't have a lot of time.
No, we have a war to prep for.
There's a war going on.
War were declared.
War were indeed
fuck.
declared.
So I guess the question is, how do we figure out?
Well, I can tell you
Who's the
who
dragon?
wins. The younger-looking lady will win. But not by a lot. The first one to go out will indeed be the small individual. Either the gnome or the halfling. Again, it's just because of the way they're dressed and the mask and stuff, it's hard to tell. Normally, it's basically like body shape, face shape, can kind of tell them apart. But they're dressed in such a way that it's very hard to tell the difference. Seemingly on purpose. The half-orc gentleman will seem a little bit upset, but not super upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, this is the first thing that this is not the first thing any of them have bid on.
Yeah.
They have all done bidding on other stuff up till now. So that is another thing I will note.
Oh, you wouldn't want to make it obvious that you're only there for one item, possibly.
True.
Yeah.
So.
Also, while the auctions have been going on, I want to pull our group aside. Well, everyone but Yaalkol, really, aside and go, maybe we should bid on one of the slave auctions and then meet up with that ship later and...
Right, so I will mention why that is a bad idea.
Okay.
Yaalkol is very anti-slavery.
Yes.
Being seen as purchasing slaves
but he
would not look good.
But then immediately stealing that ship and freeing them...
That would look worse. In a lot of
I
ways.
mean, it would make slavers mad. But, like, who cares about their opinion? I get what you're saying.
I mean,
I
get it.
You all know that there are pirate lords that support slavery on the council.
A large amount of them.
I know. Is being sarcastic about it. I'm aware of the people.
Yaalkol being anti-slavery is already causing enough of a fuss in the council, potentially. Going directly after slavers may spur another pirate lord to get really pissed off.
Like, Tessa is indirectly against slavery.
Yeah.
Tessa doesn't really allow major slave trades in Quent, and probably... But the thing is, Tessa can't take a stance, because Tessa is very political, that is directly against slavery. It's just she puts it down, kind of thing, and doesn't support it. You know, hence why can't really do a lot about this auction, too, you know, and it knows what's going on here, because you walk a fine line. That is the... unfortunate.
I was just throwing it out there. If,
I don't.
That's why I'm saying if the group does not agree, then that's fine.
You know, like.
Myste doesn't.
I don't think we should. And honestly, like, it's whatever, right? It's kind of out of our way at this point. You know, if it's like if we could free slaves on the way, I don't see a problem with it. Like going out of our way to handle it, it's like a unnecessary thing.
Let's call more pirate lords the Hurricane side.
Yeah, you know, Yaalkol can handle that after we deal with our problem. You know, once he becomes Hurricane King, maybe he can try something, but it's unlikely to work. It's the Shackle. People don't listen to specific.
I certainly don't listen to him.
Fair enough.
Alright, so what do you want to do? You have the 3 individuals that bid on it. You know who won it. What's your course of action now?
I default to
I
you
would
guys.
I would look at you guys after the person has purchased it and say, I would simply say, I'm gonna go talk to them, unless you have a better idea.
I want to study the half-orc.
Okay.
Who seemed a little bit upset at losing, but not too upset.
Yeah.
So I want to get like a full vibe from them.
All right. Certainly, your previous attempts to size up any of these folks didn't really give you anything screaming about them. All of them seem to be here alone, I will say, and it's seemingly like this one here. Roll me another sense motive check. I'll give it to you.
Fuck me. I have a plus 20. I just roll like garbage.
Okay.
I mean, that 24 is decent.
24 is bad because he's wearing a mask. He gets bonuses.
The half-orc isn't wearing a mask.
Oh, the half-orc's not wearing a mask. 24 might be okay, though.
The lady was only wearing like an eye mask, so it wasn't really much of a mask, and it was the
halfling
slash gnome is wearing a full mask.
I think maybe we split up and we ask each of them. We try to like ask each of them some questions, and maybe we can figure out if at all. What does would you call it?
I'm not charismatic. I'm just simply observing.
I mean, I can talk to them, but what do you want me to say that's not going to be, you know,
try to
obvious?
Try to drop their name, like, through, like, you know, but disguise it, you know, be subtle about it. I believe you could do that with a bluff.
I can try.
I could certainly try to do that. Good. I think it's a pass convey secret message.
Okay.
It's a bluff versus their sense motive.
All right. Sure.
The DC is 15. So
who are we taking?
We should try to get each of them at least to see if anyone get what we're dropping.
So you're gonna try to convey like a secret message to each of them. That is, what is your secret message?
Like we're trying to ask them if they are. That's the question. Give me a second.
If they are the dragon?
No, because we don't necessarily want to tell other people that there is a dragon. If they're not the dragon. Oh, and you know.
Oh, I meant like the what was the name again?
Shinrir.
Shimrir. Like if they're Shimrir.
We can, yeah, but we don't want to. Oh, I guess is that name known? Probably not, right?
Might be known amongst dragons. Honestly,
they're known as the Quiet. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess so. That's what it'll be, right? If we're subtly dropping, if they're Shenrir, if they don't know what we're talking about, they'll be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" If they are, then you know they might lie and escape us, but at least it's our best chance, I think, at the moment.
All right. I will need then from whoever is giving the message a bluff check. And when Momo is back, they can make sense motives to see if there's reactions to this, because that's probably required to read them afterwards, unless someone else wants to roll a sense motive, but I'm pretty sure your Inquisitor has the best one.
Yeah. Do we want to split this up, or are we having one person do all?
Is there enough time in the event where we could go to each of them?
Probably
individually.
The event's still going, and there is some time in between each auction. You know, just because there's setup and stuff too. Often, and like it seems as though there's some finalization in every deal. Not a huge amount of time, but certainly you could use that time to address each person. So, effectively what I would need is, one person does the bluff. I will roll a d20 then, following that bluff. And then, I would need probably at least one person to try to read the person afterwards, sense motive, just to see, if they understood you and if they reacted, honestly.
Chester, what's your bluff?
I get a +10.
Okay, I have a +10 as well, so we can
split it up.
Yeah, can we assist with this?
Sure, if the two of you are coming and talking about this and trying to insert secret message here.
I guess
I'll roll the first one.
Background to notice things.
Yeah, just kind of read the reactions and stuff. Yeah. Sounds fine.
I'll roll the first one, so let's go.
Okay, who is this for? Who do you go to first?
We'll do order. It will be gnome, orc, woman.
Okay. Then I will need. If you're you're automatically assisting. Joe.
I automatically assist. I get a +10.
I'm gonna roll those d20. All right. Okay. I will need a sense motive.
They may not have been catching what I was saying at
all. Going to the gnome / halfling, whatever it is, again, unknown. Going to the small individual. They say a few words, but don't seem to react to whatever the two of them said.
Okay.
It seems like, you know, because you're hiding in a message of probably some pleasantries or something, you know, they seem just to respond to the pleasantries. Whether or not that means they didn't read the message or not, it's hard to tell. I I think their message was readable, but it's like readable to everyone.
I think I failed the check to make it the DC to pass a simple message.
Okay.
I'll look with the DC. Hold on.
It's a DC 15. So,
Okay.
It did in fact fail that check.
Did that
So
include
just
the
failed
bonus?
help,
From,
though.
that include the Chester bonus though?
It did, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, you
yeah, I failed to convey, but I don't know I failed to convey, obviously.
Yeah.
So we move on to the next person, the orc, and it's up to Chester, the +2.
Yep, give me a second. Temp 2 and
Alright.
21.
That's a pretty good roll. I'm just gonna roll this D10. Okay, that's a pretty decent
I'll
roll.
do this motive. Oh my god, I can't read this orc.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the orc has pleasantries.
For the heck of it, could I still try? Could I try to sense motive too?
Sure, you can. Honestly, you're there.
Yeah.
You know, like, look, you know, maybe I'll save the day, okay?
I doubt it.
There you go.
Oh,
I'm a +13. Mine's good too. So.
So that's a little bit of a better check. 26. But so the thing is, the half orc doesn't seem to react to your message, but you do get a hinge that you think he understood, at least that you were giving him a message. Whether or not he understood it or choose to react to it, you cannot tell. But I'll give you that was enough to tell that you think you got the message to him.
Okay.
We have one more. Do you want to do the last one, or do you want me to?
Just to ask, so it doesn't. I can't tell whether he, if he was actively choosing to not respond. I could tell that, right? Actively choosing not to respond.
Yes, his response was just a normal response. So you think he understood you were sending him a message, okay? But whether or not he understood what that message meant, you don't know.
You're not sure yet.
Yeah. Okay. He could just have no idea, or he could be choosing to ignore it. He, at least you can understand he got a message from you.
We can come back to him later.
Yeah.
We go to the next one.
All right.
Okay. Who do you think is gonna roll better? Do you think it's me or you, Chester? Okay. It's a 50-50. You know.
Yeah.
Let's both roll d20s, and whoever rolls higher.
Just gonna roll a d20 and roll off to see who rolls.
Sure.
11. That's
see. Okay.
I guess Chester's rolling.
You got it. Okay.
All right, Chester. 22.
22. I rolled a 12.
That'd be the DC to pass a complex message.
Okay.
Definitely passes.
Sense motive.
That person rolled really high.
Wow.
Button 40. Fuck you.
All right. Hey.
Jeez. Holy shit.
So,
they know what we were.
I'm going to tell you this. Misty, you can tell they will have a a reaction that they will understand it. That's for sure. They will then act just like the half-orc did and say something. You are going to pick up on subtleties the two of them will not. Basically, she coded messages back.
Okay, what is the message?
It seems to imply, after the auction is over, to meet on a dock nearby.
Okay.
Just so you know, Tantus, you don't need to pass a check to pass the message. Like, they make a bluff check. Pass the message, you don't need to make a check to understand it.
Okay.
But I wasn't sure if this was like you're doing it.
I was doing it a certain way, and honestly, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter in this case.
it doesn't matter in this case. Don't worry about it. But
once this kind lady departs, I will go to the group. That's the one.
Sounds good.
She wants to meet at a dock nearby after the auction.
I thought it was her too, because she wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured it wouldn't make much sense.
We're about done here. We're going to go for a little bit longer, but we're almost done. I assume that after the auction's over, you're going to meet at the docks.
Yes.
Yep.
At the docks, that was mentioned through the coded message, that was in fact very well coded. Like, again, your sense motive certainly picked up on it. It was even more subtle than what your friends did. You know.
Friends is a strong one. Coworkers.
Hey, wow.
There's kind of a simple vessel here that's just kind of seems to be sitting in docks, like a flat-bottomed, one-mast, looks like trading vessel. The plank is down, and it seems that there is no activity at all. And this auction, of course, was later in the evening, so it is quite late at night. Everything seems abandoned. There isn't even a light on the ship, which is unusual.
Spooky. Well, after you.
I also would have stopped by our ship to get my weapons just in case.
If you want to go out of the way to do that, you can.
I checked my weapon, so I just uncheck it. I have my hammer.
I got my gun.
I will quickly do it just in case.
Okay.
Well, if you're going, I'll tell you to fetch me my weapon too.
Sure, I'll grab yours as well.
Okay, so Chester can run off, take a few extra minutes as you're kind of moseying, you know, probably taking your time getting there, while Chester runs. So you can run there back. You'll be a little, like, tired, but it's probably not going to matter anyway. So certainly, you are at the plank of this boat. It is the only thing on this dock. Otherwise, the docks are... There's a couple of things left over around the area that are kind of like just like crates and a couple of nets and stuff that might be left over from fishing vessels that come into port here occasionally and stuff like that. But most of it's just seemingly stored here on the dock, and it's not enough of a value for anybody to make their getaway with, honestly. But the boat itself here seems pretty quiet, and honestly is the only thing here. Going aboard?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would just, I would very, like, purposefully walk onto the ship. I'm looking for this person.
Okay.
Let's make a perception check.
Sure.
Just in case, you know, this isn't the right person and you know, they got the message and knew about this person.
I will have seen visibility up.
Okay.
As I'm going on this ship.
Hey, do you all want to be protected from fire real quick?
I'm more worried that, like, there's a possibility it could be someone other than the dragon, and, you know, this could be an ambush.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for invisible things.
Okay.
I'm doing better protection. If the dragon wants to kill us, we'll die.
33 for invisible lookings.
Okay. As you kind of get onto the main deck of the boat, as I said, it's a very flat bottom boat. Probably got one floor below it for some storage and a small raised area in the back. Like the front is completely flat, so it's only got like the aft castle. Is that what it's called?
That would be, if it's the back one, yeah.
Yeah, so it's only got the aft castle, single mast, not a huge boat. But as you kind of like wander onto the center of the deck, you can hear very beautiful singing coming from the aft castle.
I'll walk to the aft castle.
So you can kind of go up the stairs. You will see the same woman that you would see before, kind of like lounging on what looks to be some kind of like little bench almost set up towards the back of the ship. And just kind of like sitting there, kind of loafing on it. Kind of just singing, not even paying attention to you.
I'll walk up and just sort of like look at them for a little bit while I wait for my colleagues to catch up, as I've been like striding ahead with my huge gait.
He's doing a little jog.
Yeah.
He has really long legs, so he can just. The short leg people, it makes it hard to keep up.
True.
You can notice that she's just kind of got her eyes closed as she's just singing, and as she kind of ends the song, because it's not like words, it's melody that she's just kind of like singing out. She'll see her kind of like open her one eye and kind of point it towards you and be like, "You know, it is rude to hover over a woman." Which you'll hear another voice as emerging from the shadows itself is the small figure, and will say the words, "Well, they do seem like a rude bunch." And then coming out from below deck, is the half orc being like,
"God damn it!
Ah,
yeah." There's all three of them.
They're all dragons, clearly. Obviously, that's the true answer.
Or this was all a red herring, and the dragon didn't even actually bid on the orb and was just watching the auction.
That's right, these guys will die horrifically if that's the case.
Well, let them explain themselves.
Very much like somebody to explain what is going on.
Or they just work for them.
That's also true.
A gesture for an explanation from
him. Oh, he froze again.
No.
I'm here.
You're back
for a second.
It was just for a second. God damn it!
We do have a forehead dentist.
Good forehead dentist. It's very rare.
Yes.
Yes. Let me just fix this then.
There you go. Posture.
There we go. Get myself up a little bit.
Posture. Get out of that gamer position.
Can't help it.
Yeah. Gamer position. I have that practice. Sorry.
Yeah, my eyes scan the people as they walk in. I just say, "Will somebody explain what's happening right now?"
What's happening is that you youngins are just apparently looking into something.
Which one of you is my grandparent?
Oh, not me. The woman will kind of shrug her eyes like, "I'm sure I have a few kin with my blood, but no, you're not of my kind." The small one will kind of snicker and be like, "Never with a humanoid."
Well, do you know where Shenron is? We're just looking for Captain Yaalkol's grandparent, okay? It's been throwing us all over the place.
When you say that, walking aboard the ship will be a younger half-elf woman, probably in her 30s, but with like glasses and looks to be like a scholar's robe, and kind of like coming up and kind of be like, "Did you acquire the orb? Oh, what's this?"
Are you Shinrin?
Kind of adjust the glasses a little bit. Ah! It appears one of my experiments has come back to see me. Excellent.
Yes, I've come back. I would, if you could be bothered to answer just a question for me. Do you know where my dad is?
Perhaps. Perhaps you could assist me first, before I would answer any questions of yours. It seems as though that you are here because some form of emotional attachment. Fascinating. Excellent. You are much different than many of the other creatures I have spawned. I assume you're third, fourth generation?
I think my father is directly from you.
Almost
Second
excellent.
generation.
The woman will pull out a notebook and sort of like make some notes in it and be like, what's your origin of species? I breed with so many species nowadays, it's kind of hard to keep track of all of them.
I don't know. I never met my mother.
Interesting. I'll make note of
I'm
that.
now starting to understand a lot of things.
Is this information the dwarf has given me?
No.
Okay, I don't know Heckle's mom. Thank God. I don't want involved in this anymore. My job here is done.
Uh-huh.
Man, I'm gonna offer to Yaalkol later or something.
Okay.
So, I'm going to be honest, the half-orc is snickering at all of this. This short one is completely stoic, and the woman is just looking kind of sensually. But why don't we leave it here before we continue this conversation? So you not only learned that they get around and fuck, they do it because they want to find out what happens when they breed with a lot of different things.
That's so much weirder.
I think you might have found some of your aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
Oh no. They're the dragons.
They're the dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the dragons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they could still be great aunts and uncles.
Okay.
They could be related.
I don't want any of these people as family.
They are not. I will
I'm
tell
starting
you.
to understand why I come from a pretty broken line of people.
Yeah.
The others are actually relatively normal in comparison. The one that manipulates shadows, it just doesn't want to have anything to do with breeding with humanoids. There's one that's seemingly the sensual artist that gets along with things. Probably would have been a better one to have as a grandparent, honestly. The half-orc, not sure about that one. Seems a little bit more like gruff, and probably would have been the more martial one of the lot of them. And then, of course, the experimental one, which we can learn more about next time, because there's a little bit more about this character to learn about. It'll be interesting, but we'll enjoy meeting Yaalkol's grandparent. Yay. And maybe you'll find some more stuff about your dad. Or not, we don't know, we'll find out.
Find out.
Yep.
Hey, let's give some shout-outs. Erik, do you have anything to shout out?
No, I'm really excited for next episode, though. I love this little storyline. It's very fun.
Okay. Henry, if you're still working, how about you?
I'm still here.
Okay, good, because you were having some issues there. I know from that.
Lost you for
Yeah, no, I mean, my Wi-Fi kind of sucks all the time, so sometimes you guys cut out, but no, I was enjoying the cool, what do you call it, soap opera that's kind of coming on, so I'm excited
the origin story.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, but that's it, though. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Momo, anything to shout out?
I watched Discuss Tabletop.
Yeah. Sel?
Nothing to work. Nothing. Just living life.
Okay.
Life. Living.
Life.
Existence.
Living.
School.
Existence. School. And, Joe, do you have anything to throw out there?
Anyone who's been watching, you just saw me age another year.
Ah, that's true. We did.
Oh,
Birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
I
birthday,
aged
dude.
before your eyes.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird
Time
thing.
is passing.
The passage of time. Ugh, so weird. Myself, Tanzanara Van Dracovin. Should be on schedule for something on Friday. I don't know what. Saturday is going to be up in the air. And I think I will probably see if I can squeeze a bonus stream on Sunday, because I definitely know Monday is probably going to be out of the question because that's when I'm having. If you didn't see, a family member of mine passed away. Funeral's on Monday, so I don't know if I'll have time that day at all with everything that'll happen. Not that the funeral will be very long, but there's just it's right in the middle of the day, so that just interferes with scheduling completely and utterly. So I'm going to say I'm going to see about that bonus on Sunday, maybe, if I can squeeze it in before I have to do some stuff related to that. So, and again, Saturday is going to be a little up in the air until I know more. I will keep people informed. If I can squeeze that 2 hours in for a little bit of discussing tabletop, I'm going to see if I can arrange that. It'll just be moving around some stuff on my side of the schedule to make sure I get things done either before or after then. Hopefully. Yeah. That's the schedule right now. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everybody's February is going to be great and awesome, and the rest of their day today and the rest of their week. And hopefully see me on Friday for some little bit of
Also,
stuff.
I hope my cousin doesn't see a shadow.
That's true. I understand that joke.
Yes. For those that aren't in PA and don't know, Puxatony Phil is a groundhog they pull out of his hole every year to see if he sees a shadow. If he does, there's 2 more weeks of winter.
Yeah, it's a bastard, so
Huh?
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a weird tradition. It happens in Scranton, PA. Or is it Scranton? No.
It's Puxatony.
Puxatony. Yep. What am I thinking?
I've been to. It sucks.
Oh, it's the sticks.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, well, why do you think they have nothing better to do than pull a groundhog out of a hole?
Yeah, then bother a rodent. Yep.
All right. Everybody, have a great day. Rest of your evening. Bye. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Bye.